east side of Buffalo, I guess is what you could call it. I live throughout that area. I grew up on Alma and Olympic. I lived in Midtown Buffalo for a good portion of my life too, so I really lived all throughout the real community of communities that is Buffalo. And yeah, that's kind of what shaped who I am. My brand is Rashaad, which means 25 in French, and it's symbolic of quite a few things. First and foremost, the stereotypical expiration date age that they give black males like myself, and put us into a box of saying either our life is going to be taken by then or our life is going to be sucked out of us by then. And at that age, I was really sucked in, and I actually really felt like I really started to experience life in college and designing clothes and finding my passion, and not succumbing to the things that people think we are supposed to succumb to. And that's kind of just where I'm at in my life right now, and it represents a lot to me just because I feel like putting my name at the end of it allows for me to really keep it as blank of a canvas, or as a canvas that's able to extend with myself and not be able to be confined into a certain whatever genre or whatever type or whatever, just because I really will want that to grow with me as I progress throughout my life. So right now it's what it is with the clothing that I'm designing, but I mean, it could be anything tomorrow.
So at what point did you really just start saying to yourself, okay, I'm going to start taking this fashion thing serious, like start making clothes?
Well, I had been doing streetwear. Well, actually, I did music for a while, and that kind of sucked me into, you know, the fashion culture, I guess you could say. And when that was kind of when my time was really up with that, I migrated towards streetwear and taking care of the business side of streetwear brand, and being around certain individuals that I could see that were really putting the work in to gain an understanding of what's going on in fashion and make the brand better. And from a business side, you know, like you gain a certain type of respect for that, and from there I just grew into my own creativity and understanding who I was and what I could do and my potential, to a certain extent, because I guess you kind of like your potential changes and your viewpoints on your potential changes as you grow. So I think that, you know, just understanding what I could do and the limits or the lack of limitations for what I could do with my life and do for people and do for fashion in general, just kind of came into play within the last year and a half.
So I know you have a degree already, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. You're still in school right now.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that, right?
Well, I graduated from University of Buffalo with a marketing degree.
Okay.
And I would say that business is, well, you know, coming from the situations that we come from in our lives, you gain a respect for business and understanding that from a scholastic level is a lot different than like a street level. And you know, it takes your mind somewhere. Like, and going to school for marketing, I mean, I guess that kind of brought out the creativity that I could see within myself, because there's a lot of creativity that goes on in marketing. So now, well, after I received my degree, I decided very abruptly that I really wanted to pursue fashion with my life and change my life path and really devote myself to developing my career in fashion. So now I'm going to school for fashion design, apparel design, and it's pretty hard. It's a lot harder than I thought it would be, I'll say. but I enjoy it a lot. It's a lot of time that you have to put into it, a lot of effort you have to put into it. But I enjoy it, so it is very fun to me.
Yeah.
It's probably complete night and day to what people may think that it is. It's not a cakewalk. It's not, you know, threading a needle and putting a pocket on something. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work, and what I would say is, when you get to see that, it's just like business or anything. A doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to study it, you have to practice it, you have to put in a lot of effort to do it, and you have to motivate yourself to want to do it. And yeah, it's a lot of respect. I give, my hat goes off to a lot of the individuals that I meet within my department at Buff State, because they're great. My professors are great. It's an amazing experience. I'm tremendously blessed to be in the position that I'm in, because a lot of us don't, you know, a lot of us don't even see it or had a vision for it, and then even more of us don't even get the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I know it's a little bit of transition in you being here, you know. Going from UB to Buff State, you more see the culture here. From the day to day, you walk into class and, you know, you probably see a boy with a whole outfit on and a girl really dressed nice. It's a whole different culture. I definitely feel could really inspire what you're doing right now. But I know that, you know, going to school, being a fashion designer, a lot of people don't really understand that it takes money to start a lot of things. Tell me a little bit about how do you even afford to keep up with the garments that you use, being a luxury apparel brand right now?
Well, last year, I would say in 2016 was really like my coming out year. I started really, well, I just really started sewing in early fall of 2015. Like, was when I really broke my sewing machine out and was like, yo, let me try to make something. So like, I went through, took my lumps there, and then early in 2016, I really decided that, you know, like I wanted to make clothes. So like, I quit my job. Like, I couldn't deal with my boss anymore. I was becoming at least decent with what I was doing, and I just went at it. You know, I quit my job. I did what I had to do for a couple months there, and it was cool. Like, I feel like I'm marking myself to a certain extent, to the point that I feel like I can make money off of fashion just being in-house. Yeah. And I felt that way, so I put my feet to the ground and I went off with that. But, you know, things happen, so I ended up getting another job over the summer, and it's hard to balance everything, but you know, like, you need that capital to be able to invest in yourself and invest in everything that you need. Utilize the money that I make with a regular job and the money that I'm able to make with my clothing to support myself as well. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I'm just I keep on investing in myself as much as I can. And that's a really big part of being an entrepreneur, is investing in yourself.
Definitely. What does your typical day look like right now? You know, just from, you know, you working right now, dealing with so many things, you feel the brain growing, keeping up with clients' orders. How does that go? How do you even keep up with everything right now?
I think every day is different. You know, I try to design every day, whether it be drawing, sewing, looking at looking at materials, or coming up with ideas and just brainstorming. But I work, you know, like, I work a full-time job. I go to school full-time. I'm hands-on with my family. My little sister just had triplets, so they're a handful. It's a lot. Like, my life encompasses so much. Like, and I touch a lot of people too, so I'm constantly talking to people, constantly keeping my relationships that I have with people fresh, because I love, you know, I love friendship. I'm blessed with quite a few tremendous friends that I could say are really my friends, and that's the thing that, you know, like a lot of people don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like I have a really solid support system of friends that, you know, like one of my longest friend, we go back to kindergarten, you know, so that's a blessing that, you know, like I have to keep a hold of. So every day is different. It's school, work, clients, personal growth, just keeping a hold of everything. I think organization is one of my really big goals for the year, is to really just stay as organized as I can, because I really see myself building and just being better, not only being better in what I'm doing, but being a better individual. I think this really helps me with my psyche and my mentality of, you know, being better and being closer to God and closer to people. And
fashion is definitely an art. And, you know, when people look at your garment, they might not understand that attention to detail that you put towards a piece to even make your customers keep coming back. What's the process? Like, how long does it take for you to even create a shirt or even create a piece?
I think it changes with time. You know, you know, when I started out, man, it was taking me days to put something basic together. You know, man hours. You know, from deciding what you want to do, deciding what you want to cut. Cutting is it's stressful to cut. You know, so then putting it together and completing it to your standard it can be a really long time, and again, it fluctuates. I would say that I was making a piece in 5 or 6 hours at one point. Then I was cutting it down to 3, and you know, as I'm taking off in my career in school with design, it shot back up because I'm looking at different things and different techniques that I can bring to the table to make my garments better. Working with different materials and better materials was one of the big things, and one of my professors really challenged me to use better materials. So, you know, you don't want to mess them up when you're paying $60 a yard for something. You got to take your time. So the amount of time that it takes, really, it's dependent. Like, it'll go down, it'll go up. It's all over the place, boy.
And you know, you just said $60 a yard, and sometimes I believe people look at stuff, and don't get me wrong, some stuff are just basic with a hype behind it and just overpriced. But I don't think certain people even when they look at the Gucci's and the Louis, they don't understand the garment that is even used for the clothing. It might be $70 a yard for that, just to make that shirt. So you going into that, like, what are your price ranges right now?
I'm looking at right now, I probably say the cheapest thing that or the most inexpensive thing that I will put together will probably run anywhere like $60 to $70. And the most expensive thing out of what I'm making right now could probably go up to $150 or $200, just depending on what we put together for it and the materials that I'm using. Again, I have the outlets and I know how to get to the higher quality materials, and I understand textiles more too, just because, you know, like I'm studying it, so I get what goes into a higher quality piece and what makes the wear better, what makes the feel better, what makes it last longer, what makes it, you know, more appealing to the eye even. So yeah, I did a pop-up a month or two ago, and you know, like I'm at my table and it just wasn't clicking, and I'm looking like, man, like, what's going on? Like, I put all this work in to do this stuff, and like I'm not really getting the buzz like I thought I would. And I understood that I was really surrounded by people that wasn't doing what I was doing. So like, I got it. So it was worth it for me to do, but I have a different type of clientele. I have a different type of product, you know. So having the business mind that I have, it's worth it to get that exposure. But at the same time, like, you can't beat yourself up because the customer that's coming into the store isn't your customer.
Yeah, everything is a learning experience. That's how I see it. But I would definitely like to see some of your pieces. You brought some with you, right?
Yeah.
Like about your brand is the exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically just pointed that out, saying, the certain type of customers you get. Explain to me what's going on, because I like it. It's just a lot going on from the middle piece to the bottom. Just let me know what's going on. And what really inspires you to make a piece each time you start?
Like I did color. Color is a big part of your everyday, even though you might not realize it. Like color really impacts who you are and impacts your mentality. I actually learned something the other day. Like there's actually frequencies that people pick up on off of color. And if you took a blind person into a room that was red, they would feel a different feeling than if you took them into a room that was blue. So it's science behind it, but with me in designing, I feel like it's really just a feel. Like I like to just go off of how I feel. I could go into a fabric store and feel a certain way one day and be like, damn, I want to do this with this, or I want to put this together with this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of my designs, they just really come together off of time. Like I pay attention to who I should pay attention to in the game. I get a lot of inspiration from fly people I know, so I would say I really just develop things based upon my relationships with people. Like I love interacting with people. I love growing with people, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of what I've done is a direct reflection of that. Like I this particular design, minus it being a fleece hoodie, I developed from an interaction that I had with my cousin Rome, and just going over like, yo man, I want you to make me something, blah blah blah, and I was just inspired by him, and that's what developed all of this. You know what I'm saying? Now this is one of my statement pieces, and I've revamped it and developed it, as I've gone, but it all really started from there, so. Just looking at this, like this is one of my favorite pieces that I've ever done, just because I used a lot of the things that I learned like in classes to really make this a really quality garment, and I'm very proud of it. I wore it myself. I wore it in Atlanta. Yeah. And it rings bells. Like I'm happy now I could put something up on the gram now, and like I could make a, I don't know. I refrain from putting things on the internet because I can't even handle like people hitting me up. I appreciate it a lot, and I'm very grateful and thankful for it. But like sometimes, man, it's overwhelming because it's just me. Like like I can't handle everything, and I'm continuing to try to grow and really expand on what I'm doing, and sometimes I just gotta chill and be like, man, this just gotta wait to go up.
And you know what I respect about it, because I seen you 2 months ago, and I'm like, bro, do you know how to make hoodies? And you said to me, no, not as yet, I'm learning. And a couple weeks later, I seen you throw a hoodie on the gram, and you said, I made this hoodie. And I'm just like, wow, he's really working, Other from just the working, going to school, you're just progressing each time. Some people might not see that behind the scenes work, but people that follow you closely, definitely your supporters, would definitely see that. And I feel like you should definitely keep going with what you're doing today. I feel like the streets are really feeling what you have to offer just because it's different. And I feel like what people really love is the fact that you're making it in-house. You're not getting a wholesale product with prints on it. You're getting something that's made with love, passion, each and every single garment. And that's the only reason why we even chose to really bring you up here, because not a lot of designers are offering that nowadays, and that's something that's key to the market right now. So definitely we would love to see you grow. Definitely love to have you here for another interview to see where you have progress in the future. So, but one last question before you go. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't know. I really enjoy the part of this that allows me to touch people, you know, so it's really no telling where it could take me. I've traveled thanks to clothing that I've made. I've inspired people to go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've worked with kids. So all of that, man, that's amazing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother was a homeless teenager when I was born. You know, so to be here right now is a miracle and a blessing. So all of this, man, it's just icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? And to the people that have played a part in my life and helped me to be where I am, I'm forever grateful. So I just want to pay that forward as much as I can. And if all of this was over tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna have memories. I'm gonna remember a text from Malika like, yo, I'm going back to school. Thank you for inspiring me to go back to school. I'm gonna have a picture of a little kid in the A with my t-shirt on his birthday. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's powerful, dog. Like, who am I to, you know what I'm saying? Who am I to receive that type of blessing, though? You know what I mean? Or put together something in the hood of Buffalo that's going across the country, you know, out the country. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'd be happy if it was over tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, this, it's just blessings, man. And I'm good with it. I'm happy. So, as far as it goes, we'll see. I'm really just developing and continuing to grow and remaining thankful, shining when I need to, because, you know, like, who would I be to hide my blessings? But you know, we'll see what happens. I'm thirsty for knowledge. I want to continue to learn, continue to be creative for as long as I can, and just continue to grow.
Definitely. You want to tell them your Instagram?
Yeah.
Social media?
It's Vincent Rashaad for the moment. It's VINGTCINQ. That's 25 in French. Rashaad, my name, RASHAAD. My website is VincentRashaad.com. I have a Facebook page, Vincent Rashaad. So follow me, please. Show love, like, share. Enjoy the experience and the ride. And yeah, thank you, because you play a part too. I'm inspired by the world and love and people and interaction and yeah, life.
More life for my brothers trying to better things. Cause all my men are running to the money, we'll be running like